Hi, I'm Scott Sheldon, and welcome to this episode of Winegazer. Thank you so much for tuning in. So in this episode, we are celebrating the second annual International Cabernet Day. This is a day when thousands of people all over the world get together in wine bars, in wineries, and restaurants, virtually online using platforms like Facebook and Twitter, using the hashtag #Cabernet Day in their messages. What this does is aggregates all this content. When you search for it using this hashtag, people can easily communicate, talk about wines that are Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, or blends using one or both of those wines. Exciting and very nerdy stuff. So for this day, for this episode, we have a very special 2009 Palermo Cabernet Sauvignon coming from the folks at Orin Swift. It is $28 suggested retail, 15.5% alcohol, 90% Cabernet Sauvignon, 10% Merlot. And it's an interesting story behind this wine, the way it came about. The folks at Orin Swift, they have a couple of higher end Cabernet Sauvignon wines. One of them is Mercury Head, goes for like $75 a bottle. The other one is Papillon, $55 a bottle. They get all this fruit from all over Napa, from like Howell Mountain, Spring Mountain, Oakville, Rutherford, St. Helena. They get all this fruit together, and then when they start fermenting it, they start messing around using different types of French barrels, different fermentation techniques, and even picking at different times. And then when they get all this stuff together after it's fermented and start tasting it in the barrel, they start making their blends for Mercury Head, for Papillon, and then whatever's left over goes into Palermo. And what you get here is a bargain where, very high-end fruit, it's just the leftovers, $28 wine. So I'm excited to try it. This wine's only been out for a few months, and I love The Prisoner and other wines from Orin Swift. So a little origin on Cabernet Sauvignon. It basically was born in the 1600s in the southwest part of France. It is the love child of Sauvignon Blanc and Cabernet Franc. So let's get into the wine and give it a pour. This wine's been open for about an hour and a half. And so one of the things people complain about Cabernet Sauvignon, they think it's a real one-dimensional grape. They think it's like a weed. It's indestructible. It's easy to grow. It just grows everywhere. Which really isn't true. It does grow like a weed, but it needs a specific climate. It needs a hot and dry climate. In fact, in places like Monterey in California, they tried to grow it with no success. They had to rip out, all those vines. But one of the things people complain about is, I like cabs, but I need a steak, I need a burger, to calm it down. It's just too much to drink on its own. So I want to show people today on this episode that you can just have a couple pieces of cheese, nibble on it, and that will tame down the tannins, the oak, and the wine, make it a lot more pleasurable to drink. And so, again, when we take a look at the wine, trying something new here, I want you to see the density, the color. Sometimes this the white paper behind it helps a little bit. Hope you can see that. So it's very dense, dark ruby color. And this is dense like London fog. Trying to see through this is impossible. Let's give it a smell. So real nice wood is what hits you first. Cedar, some oak coming through. Reminds me of like an oak plank that you'd cook salmon on. And then you have this beautiful dark fruit, like dark blackberries and currants. It's like smashed mixed berry pie on an oak plank, served up on an oak plank. This is what this wine is coming through on the nose. And you can already smell the tannins coming through. Let's give it a taste. Beautiful spice, beautiful dark fruit, again, mixed berries. Wonderful finish on this wine. It's still lingering. Very viscous mouthfeel too, kind of oily, unctuous feel. It definitely has some weight to it. So right now, this is like when people are saying like, oh, I need some food. You know, that's like, it's kind of like this, you know, my mouth's puckering up. So don't worry. This is where we break out the cheese. First, we have a little Gouda Le Amuse coming from the Netherlands, from the folks at Beemster. When you look at this cheese, some people may look at it and say, is that cheese still good? I mean, it looks very waxy. A nice aged cow's milk Gouda, and yes, it is still good. I don't serve any bad cheese on the show. So let's give it a nice little cut, and by way of nice cheese knife, this makes things a lot easier. Serrated blade and nice holes in the blade so the cheese doesn't stick to the blade. Very handy in the kitchen instead of trying to use like a chef's knife to cut cheese. Let's give it a little taste. So even in the mouth, there's like a little bit of a waxy feel to it. Yes, I ate candles as a kid. Thank you. Nutty, creamy. These cheeses too, they're so dense, you just need a little piece. And it like explodes in your mouth. It's wonderful. Let's see now when the wine hits the cheese, what happens? So immediately what happens is this cheese really calms down this wine. And really what you're tasting on the wine is really just purely the fruit, those tannins, and any of that wood that you're picking up really gets pushed down into the background, and then the fruit comes out and it makes this wine a lot more drinkable, where you're not hankering for like a Fred Flintstone sized piece of steak or ribs or a hamburger. So very nice. Let's move on to a second cheese. And so we have a cheddar. This is coming in England, coming from it's a Montgomery cheddar, excuse me, coming from the folks at Neal's Yard Dairy. There's a little slice of this. Good stuff. These cheeses, I picked them up at the Wally's Cheese Box over in West LA. It's a little cheese box store they have right next to their wine store. And a lot of good stuff happening over there. A lot of imported cheeses, hard to find stuff, artisan cheeses. Let's mix it up with the wine. I'm sorry, but I don't even want to spit this wine out. This is really a great wine. Under 30 bucks for a real high-end tasting cab. I'm going 90 points on this wine. I really like what's going on here. And people, I hope you try mixing it up with some cheeses. Don't wait around for the next trip to the steakhouse to enjoy a nice Cabernet Sauvignon wine. Relax at home, bring out some cheeses, and mix it up and enjoy it. We had a Gouda, we had a cheddar. Some other cheeses you could try that go really well with a Cabernet Sauvignon would be like Parmesan goes good, blue cheese is really excellent, Camembert, even a nice Brie goes fantastic with a nice, bold, robust, strong Cabernet Sauvignon wine. So I think that's it for this episode. I hope I opened your eyes a little bit. I hope you guys deserve that this King of Grapes deserves this wonderful celebratory day every year. It's just one day a year, so why not celebrate? Why not crack open a nice cab and enjoy? So until next time, cheers.